Hi, my name's Kelly, Channel Spirit Guides, and today I would like to channel Nana Anna and the Morrigan about the peace pipe. Dear Kelly, thank you as always for joining with us. And thank you for having the intention to bring peace on your planet with the little tiny effort that you have to make by putting this camera in front of your face. Okay? By beginning with us, you realize that your power in this begins with your mind. It begins with where you're coming from and how you face your day, how you face your challenges, how you face your relationships. You begin with asking for higher guidance. And you know that they know about peace and wisdom, and they know how you can bring it into your life. And it's not what you think, because you've been programmed to think about conflict. You've been programmed to find conflict in everything. So it's going to take effort, and it's going to take reaching beyond the resources of information and wisdom that you have on the ego plane, on the planet, in your media, in your newspaper, in your blogs, in your social media. You have to be the one bringing the wisdom to filter what you're looking at. You can't expect that wisdom to come from outside of you anywhere. And the peace pipe was a prayer. It's a collective prayer where the elders or a group gathered together and had the intention to bring peace to their community. And they called on the ancestors to be present with them. So when they're gathering their tobacco and preparing the ceremony, intentions are placed into that tobacco as prayers for the answers to come that will bring harmony to their community. And they took this very seriously because they believed in the ancestors, and they knew the ancestors came from love, and they knew how to guide us towards love. It's a mystery how it's all organized, but it's humility that brings you into truth. And the death of Charlie Kirk was just that. It was a catalyzing moment for humanity. And we want to say that he and the shooter had a karmic entanglement that was settled in this lifetime. But it was designed by Charlie's Council of Elders before he was born to come to the planet with this exit time so that he would bring this message of communication across the lines, right? He was gathering young people from college and talking to them peacefully, respectfully, letting them speak, listening, and then sharing with them. And his heart was open. That's why so many people are pouring compassion and affection into his story right now across the lines of Democrat, Republican. It doesn't matter. Enough is enough. We're done. Humanity is done with conflict. We're calling on peace, and some people are still under veils enough that they're not willing to let go of that conflict. And so Kelly's finding again that the message is being reinforced that empaths need to have boundaries. And one of them is having boundaries with conflict. And it's not that you're better than them and you need to just ignore them. It's that you need to recognize when you're being triggered. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, send roots into the ground, ask for help. And then you can transmute that triggering into knowing what you need to do to heal your own karma, because whatever's happening outside of you, it's a hermetic law that it's also happening inside of you, and you only have control over what's going on inside of you. The violence that we see in the world and the fights that we see are people's egos trying to win, people's egos trying to be right and force their belief on the world outside of them. And they are justified in doing that because their ego has convinced them that violence can be a solution for making people understand you. But that's that's part of a consciousness that's dying on the planet. And that consciousness isn't going to go easily. It's going to cling for its existence. And so what power do we have right now when we want to bring peace? You can't expect to convince anybody outside of you with words of anything. The only control and power you have is within you. And the guidance within you can elevate your frequency so that you can see solutions. And the humility that you gain is that you follow those answers without knowing if they'll get anywhere. But you follow them knowing that's higher wisdom, and you allow the higher wisdom to work in ways that are mysterious to you. Okay, so Kelly walks throughout her life every day doing what she knows is right and trusting that everything will align for her. And it's happening. And it's tricky to figure out how to navigate conflict. But you've got to start with your own frequency. So before you respond to anybody who is attacking you, make sure that you're in a frequency of peace. Because if you're not, you're probably going to get sucked into a low frequency that you never intended to. And if you just pause and take a deep breath and regulate your nervous system so that you can receive higher frequency vibrations because you are in a calm neurological state. Panic, cortisol leads to muscles working better. You can run, okay, you can fight, but your brain doesn't work as well. You don't navigate complex situations when you're in a fight or flight nervous system response. So if you're not in a calm state, you need to walk away. And that can be the hardest part. That step one, resisting the impulse to respond to a conflict, can take a lifetime to master. And so you have to work on peace throughout your day. You have to work on your responsibilities, because if you have a responsibility that you're not taking care of and your ego doesn't want to confront that, doesn't want to face that, it's going to convince you through cognitive dissonance to fight for your current situation as normal and as okay for you. Humility within you, and strengthen your boundaries and honesty about your responsibilities and stepping up in integrity is how you bring peace in the world. It's all on the individual, because when you embody it, that's all you're going to see all around you. So if you see something outside of you that's bringing conflict, there is something inside of you that has conflict to be resolved, and you're avoiding it. You're projecting it outward because you don't want to see it. You don't have insight into that conflict within you. This is very hard to accept. That's why it took 150 videos for Kelly to get to this point where she can say, begin with what's inside you. And you might feel like you're getting nowhere by ignoring what's going on while you work on what's going on inside you, but eventually you'll change timelines where peace is normal. You don't have to fight for things. You just shift to a timeline where peace is abundant. And everywhere you look, people are smiling, offering a hug, shaking hands. And so it is. Namaste.